All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you today with our ShakeRagProductions.com. And as all of you know that follow our show and be around here with us, we're always trying to find some kids that can either play the guitar or the piano, sing, or anything. And if they have a talent, come out here to us. But today we're very, very fortunate to have something that'll help the kids in the way of safety. So we're still thinking all about the kids and about the youngsters and what we can do to assist them and help them. So ladies and gentlemen, today is our special guest, one of the finest guys you ever meet in your life, Mike Davis. Mike, thank you very much for coming out here today.
Thank you very much for having me, Otis.
What Mike's going to talk to you about and explain a little bit is something most of you probably never heard of, called tin chip. Now, what that is, ladies and gentlemen, to make it as simple as we possibly can, it's a form and a series of articles that have been put together to help protect kids in case that they're missing, whether they've been kidnapped or lost, or had a problem at the river, or any way that they are misplaced and the parents are out looking for them. So we asked Mike to come and explain more about it, since he's ramrodding this part of the country and kind of in charge for all this. So I'm gonna turn it over to him. Mike, you wanna explain what the tin chip is about?
Well, thank you, Otis, for the introduction. But I think it would be misspoken to say that I'm ramrodding. I'm actually championing it for Richland Lodge, number 748, out of Rosemark, Tennessee. And I picked it up and have run with it. The director of the program for this area is Jason Manis. And so what we've done is our lodge decided that this was something that would help the children in our area, and it was something that needed to be done. There are a lot of different programs out there for kids to try to protect them or help recover them quickly in case of an abduction or having lost them. This is one of the ways that we can do it, and it's a kit that you keep at home on your property, be it in most cases it's got DNA in it, so you put it in a refrigerator or a freezer, more appropriately, and leave it there until you need it. And then if in the event that your child is lost or stolen, abducted, then you pull it out of the freezer and immediately hand it to the authorities.
Well, Mike, how did you get involved in this?
I've got 3 children, and all 3 boys, all under the age of 8. And it became important to me because we do a lot of camping. And I go on a lot of Cub Scouting events. We do a lot of large events, monster truck rallies, and go to amusement parks and things like that. And the concern has always been with child abductions on the rise in this country, that the worst could happen. And this was a way for me to be able to carry it with me. It wasn't put in a national database. A lot of people have a lot of concerns right now in the federal government programs because the DNA and fingerprints and all that go into a national database, and a lot of people don't want that. With this particular kit, that does not happen. It's never handed to the government or the authorities until it's needed.
Okay. So one of the things that you're trying to impress upon some of the folks that did with, I know you're real big in the Boy Scouts and a few other community projects, but what you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, is as you know, when you go to the zoo, the kids will be all there together, and the next thing you know, one of them wants to go over and see the lion, and he breaks and runs, you're looking for him, and there's a big crowd of people, or whether you're at a ball game and he decides he wants to go over here for this, and look around, and he's gone, even though nobody wants to talk about it or think about it. It happens like that. I've raised kids too, so I know what he's talking about there. But Mike, if you would you hold the tin chip package up there where Josh Coleman, the editor and producer and the brain behind all this operation, can you hold it up to the camera where he can take a turn around there?
There's several portions of the kit. The first and the main portion is a ID card or data sheet. Basically, it's got your name and nickname if the child's known outside of immediate family and friends by nickname. Say everybody calls him Junior, but his name's Mark. And he's known throughout school and throughout his life as that. That's where you put the nickname. It's got the basic information, date of birth, whether they wear glasses, whether they have any prosthetic braces or not on their body, and any necessary medicine that they have to take for a medical condition.
Okay.
So that if in the event that it's needed, the authorities will know that there is a definite time crunch, if you will, to get them back so that they can get their necessary medical drugs.
Such as diabetes,
Diabetes,
or anything, something like that.
yeah, if they have diabetes, obviously they're going to need insulin.
Right.
Things like that. If you have a heart condition, there may be a certain medicine you have to take on a daily basis or within a certain time frame.
I understand.
Those things are crucial in helping to recover the child. Because whoever, in the case of an abduction, they're going to have to either A, locate those items, or B, do something different to be able to A, keep the child alive, or not.
Okay, so what you got there, one thing is all the pertinent medical information,
Exactly.
anything you can write down, put in the package right there. Well, how long have you been involved in this, Mike?
I've been involved in it since the end of last year, probably November, December. It was started in Tennessee by past Grandmaster Tom Bodock and the Grand Lodge, and it was a charity program that he has championed. And he donated from his own personal finances and purchased the original kits. I believe there were approximately 8,000 of them purchased for the state kickoff. However, this program has been going on in other states around the country, the closest being Missouri. And it's been going on for the last 10 to 15 years. All right? It's evolved and changed a little bit over the years, but the basic program's been the same. Missouri, because it's the closest, is the one we look to most often. In Missouri, there have been over 150,000 kits given out free of charge. By no means are the parents required to pay for these kits. They cost the Masons approximately $2 a kit to be able to put them together. And that money is acquired solely by donation. Either in the case of our lodge, we try to donate every month, or whenever we need more kits, we buy them 100 at a time, and we get the money for the kits to pay for them from our membership.
So this is another one of the community projects that is sponsored and supported by the Masonic Lodge that people may or may not know about, some of the things that try to do for the community. But while you're talking there, Mike, is one of the things when you start like this, have you, how's the reception been whenever people approach you and wonder what you're doing? How have they taken it so far?
So far it's been one of two ways. Either they embrace it totally, or unfortunately for us, because of the name, the 10 chip program, they automatically have a pre-misconception of what the program is. You know, you hear the word chip, you think of some kind of computerized device. But in this case, that's not what it is. It's simply an acronym. It stands for Tennessee Child Identification Program.
Well, I know at one time at some of the discussion they thought to some degree that they were going to install a chip on them or something like that where it's embedded in the skin and that kind of, but what are some of the interesting, just a couple, three interesting questions that you've been asked so far when you're trying to explain this program, Mike?
One of them has been that since there were, because we always use Missouri, because there were 150,000 kits given out, how many are actually attributable to a recovery? And that answer is pretty simple. In the last 10 to 15 years, there have been 8 cases where a child has been immediately recovered, and immediate is defined by police as within 2 weeks or less.
Okay.
And it was directly attributable to this packet that they immediately handed to the authorities, and the authorities then had something to go on. Now, 8 people out of 150,000 doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you ask each and every one of those parents of those 8 kids, by God, that's all the difference in the world.
Well, that's the main thing, was one of the kids. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is ShakeRackProduction.com coming to you today, downtown Millington, Tennessee, and what we have, we're talking to you about normally that trying to go out here and help the kids get started in some of their traits that they have, but this is one time we're trying to help kids keep from getting lost or kidnapped or misplaced or abducted or whatever you want to call it. So Mike Davis is the one of the deacons there in the lodge, and so he's taken a profound interest in all this. So being now that Josh over there running the camera, we wanted to let everybody be aware that if you have kids, or sometimes even grandkids, and so this tries to explain it. But Mike, there's one thing interesting. You mentioned the law enforcement a few minutes ago. What perception does the law enforcement have on something like this?
The general perception and consensus that I've gotten from all the individuals I discuss it with is that it's very, very well received. It's looked as a very positive opportunity and tool that law enforcement can use to quickly start a recovery process. When you look at the kit, you've got dental records. So God forbid the child's found after the worst has happened, they can at least identify the child and return them through their dental records. It's got fingerprint records so that they can use the fingerprints to identify the child. It also, and we tell people it's got a place to attach a photo, but we tell people every time you go out, in my case, every time I go out to an event or go out camping, I take a picture of my child every morning with what he's wearing for that day, and I drop it in my kit or I save it on my smartphone. And the reason for that is simple. The more pictures you have of your children, the ideal thing is every year put a school picture in. The more pictures you have, the quicker they can, and more accurately they can make a rendering of the age progression.
Well, I noticed on you have a balloon here, but a lot of thought and effort has really gone into this, because I know some of the things like you're talking about, the fingerprints, the DNA, the swabbing, the photo, and like I said, you have the balloon there, you have the information, all that. So primarily, and where's the best place to store this plastic bag? Like,
essentially, there's one part of the kit that's not included, and that is a brown paper bag and a well-soiled, dirty, stinky sock. All right, most kids, you give them a pair of socks, tell them to wear them 3 days straight.
but there's a reason for doing that.
Right. And then you take them off the child, don't wash them, throw them in a brown paper bag and throw them up in the top of the closet, preferably their closet, so you don't have to deal with the smell on yours. But that's for the scent dogs, because in a lot of cases they'll bring dogs out to try to track the child down, and that gives them something to go on.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're kind of at a loss. The rest of the kit is intact, everything is there that you need.
Well, now, since we've been going along and talking here for the last few minutes, and hopefully we've got somebody's interest, so that sounds like a pretty good deal.
Right.
Okay, where would somebody go, or how would they contact somebody, preferably you, if they wanted to hear more about the 10-chip program, or if they possibly wanted to use it? What should they do, Mike?
There's basically three ways to go about it. The first way is to contact a Masonic Lodge in your city or neighborhood. They can have access to this information, and they can attain one of the kits if so required or asked. The other way is to go to the website, which is www.tnchip.org. And then the final way, if they will, is to contact me.
What's your phone number, Mike?
My phone number is 901-258-6590, or you can email me at any time at Mike Davis, MikeDavis, the number's 1202 @gmail.com.
All right, there's something else very important in the near future. While we're filming this, we've got 2 locations to be coming up, and everybody's, of course, this website goes all over the world, so if there's anybody in Peter Wank out there in Beijing, just come on to Goat Days here. It's going to be September 13th, part of the 15th. And you can come out there and Mike will have a booth and several people will be out there. And that's September 13th, 14th, and 15th at the U.S. Stadium, Babe Howard Stadium in Millington, Tennessee. And also on the Moffett celebration date that falls on September 21. That's on a Saturday. And Mike and a lot of people will be out there. So if you want to go up and talk to them more, and that way you can get out there and get personal. You can see what this is all about. But how many, you know off the top of your head, Mike, to give people, I know there's 1 million lodges participating in this. Do you know how many off the top of your head? I know this is kind of a loaded question right now, participating. Is everybody doing it, Mike, in most cases?
It's still a new program. I don't know how well it's caught on in the rest of the state. It was just started last year. However, in this area, we've got probably 5 to 8 lodges at any given time that have picked the program up and run with it. And we've got more people and more lodges coming on board every day trying to find out how they can get involved.
So I guess what the question was, and his great answer there is, more people find out about it, the more word spreads and the more good you see. Because when you first get started, what is it all about and everything. But this is a great community and a great humanitarian endeavor. And that one kid that could be saved or found or whatever, you don't never know, could be yours or mine or anybody, grandkids, neighbors, or anything.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is ShakeRagProduction.com coming to you today, and we're talking about 10 Chip, which is a program that Mike Davis is heading up in this area right here. So before we get out of here, but we're going to give you some address and phone numbers again. But do you have any idea, Mike, how many 10 Chips? I know there's been several thousand given out. How many, Mike, have been given out so far?
I know we gave out at the Shrine Circus at the Agri Center in Memphis, we gave out 800 kits inside of 2.5 days.
Just a short period of time.
Just a real short period of time. Here in my lodge, we've given out approximately 40 of them from the 2 events that we've done, 2 or 3 events we've done over at the flea market at Jake's Flea Market, I'm sorry, over on Highway 51.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is ShakeRagProduction.com coming to you. We're about to wind this thing up before we leave. Mike Davis heading this thing up in this region around here. He's given up his time and his effort, and it's kind of a community and a lodge affair. But Mike, coming from speaking from the heart of what you are, what message would you like to get out there to the parents, the grandparents, or somebody that doesn't have kids, or teachers, or anybody, schools, or what have you? What would be your message to let people know about this and why?
I guess I'd start with the fact that it's a great program. Every parent, grandparent, or family member wants to protect their children.
Right.
That being said, not everybody knows how.
Right.
We can't, we as parents, myself included, we try to protect our children from everything and shelter them from all the evils of the world. Unfortunately, we can't be there 100% of the time.
Correct.
And we can't protect them 100% of the time. And it's that small portion of time, maybe 10-20% of the time, we're not able to be there, that we have to worry about. And that's usually when the unfortunate happens.
Right.
That's when a predator or somebody of that nature takes advantage of these children. Right. There are thousands of missing and lost children nationwide. There are 4 basic categories of them. Family abductions. People they know take off with them, whether it be their biological father because the parents are divorced,
Right.
That wants more visitation time and thinks that's the way to get it, or a parent that's spiteful and trying to take off with a kid because of a custody battle.
And also when they're out there, well, they go hunting or go fishing, fall out of a boat or anything like
Exactly.
that. Like, I mean, there's a G in things. So, Mike, ShakeRagProductions.com been coming to you. We thank you so much. We're gonna wind this thing. So, Mike, if you would, give us your phone number that they can contact you and your address one more time.
Absolutely. 3 forms of contact. The first one is the website, 10chips.org, and that's www.tnchip.org. My phone number, 901-258-6590, or my email, mikedavis1202@gmail.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you got it right there from the man in charge that knows all this stuff. So, Josh Coleman and I've been trying to run this thing to help you. So if you've never heard of this, get a hold of Mike. It could be your child, it could be your neighbor, it could be your grandkids, anybody. You don't ever know. We hope it doesn't happen, but you just don't ever know. So, Mike, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking your valuable time to come out here and talk to this. We hope that in some way we might be able to help some kids. So, you folks stay tuned to us. Keep watching just like you have been here on ShakeRag.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sign off right here. And God bless you for watching and listening. And we thank you. And we'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.